give y'all as much information as I can about what naturopathic doctors are and how we can better help you.
Okay, okay. All right. Dr. Tiffany Brown, let's see if we're on here, as we had to try to go with it. But really it's a blessing. Let me see if we popped on here. There we go. There we go. Dr. Tiffany Brown, it is a blessing to have you here with us. And there's a lot of things I could be doing because it's my birthday. Yeah, but I already made a declaration that I was going to do this, and I love helping people. And so, with that being said, we just want to let people know about what it is that you do. And of course, your testimony is absolutely awesome. And I'll say this right here, and this is not to discredit any doctors or anything, because we don't do that, but I go back to when you first got ready to go off to class, and I remember you coming to the altar, and I remember you standing at the altar, and the Holy Spirit revealed to me that there was something that you wanted God to do for you, and I didn't know what it was, and I just said, you know, it was Sister Tiffany then. I said, Sister Tiffany, I know there's something that you're asking for God, and God is going to do something for you. And I thought it was a man. God doesn't always tell a person what it is. That was just me being nosy and prodding around like, what is it that she's up here for? And then to come to find out, it was so that you could go to school and go to medical school. And one of the things that I believe in the church that I think a lot of people miss is that it's more than just church. We're supposed to, I'm a firm believer, especially proud of you and the achievements that you've been able to do. Help people with learn and understand finances, help people understand health. And of course, as people get older, people start having different health issues. And if you're not feeling good, there's not a whole lot that's gonna come out of that. And so natural health is important. And I'll just say this on my testimony. I can tell people this for a fact. I've had, and this has always been my testimony, I've gone to the doctor and them tell me, hey, this is what's wrong with you. And I ask them, well, how did this happen? Where did this come from? And I wasn't born with this. And they'd be like, oh, it's okay, you got it. You know, one of them was my face kept breaking out and they couldn't figure it out. They wanted to give me creams. Somebody gave me a natural health book and I read it and I had the symptoms, went back to the doctor. I didn't ask for the cream. It was a female doctor who came in, and people laugh when I said this. At that time, I thought a doctor was a male and a nurse was a female. That's how silly I was about that. And so what ended up happening is that I said, what do you give a woman that has a yeast infection? And she said, diflucan. And I said, would you prescribe me diflucan? And she said, for what? I said, I believe what's showing up on my face is actually coming from a yeast infection, and most people don't know that a man can get a yeast infection, but they do. So I've been in this natural health thing for a long time. She gave me the diflucans. I went and purposely ate pizza because the pizza has a lot of yeast. Face broke out, took the diflucan, it went away. Went to the health food store, started taking black walnut extract and coconut oil and all this stuff, and got rid of the problem versus what the doctor told me that I'd never get rid of it. Then another time I kept on having acid reflux and it had become so bad it was GERD. So they gave me the scope and said, we're gonna put you on medicine. I said, well, how do I get rid of it? You'll never get rid of it. I said, I just can't accept that. I just couldn't accept that. So I went and did my research like always and found out what GERD was. It was extreme acid reflux. And they said that there was no way to stop it. I started doing aloe vera gel. I started eating more greens and less fried foods and reversed it. And I don't have any medicine. So we know that it works because it deals with the root versus treating the symptoms. So I got a couple of questions that I want to ask you. Could you explain to people exactly what let me say it correctly. Natural, how do I say it?
Naturopathic.
naturopathic doctors
Yes.
are and what they do. Can you explain it? Explain it so that everybody can know what y'all do.
Yeah.
What is different between y'all and a normal doctor? And I've been in health clubs,
Yeah.
and I've had real doctors quit because they say that at the hospitals they only want to treat. They never want to cure anything because if they did, people wouldn't come back.
Right.
So where do y'all come into play?
So, so a naturopathic doctor, we got the same education as you.
All right, I mean, well, you might have to speak up just a little bit louder.
Okay. As a naturopathic doctor, we got the same education as the medical doctors.
Mhm.
So we still got the undergraduate classes we have to take, and then be accepted to an accredited naturopathic program.
Okay, got you.
So we still 2 years of basic science in the naturopathic program,
Uh-huh.
and then 2 years of clinical sciences, and that's where we learn how to do the physical exams, diagnosing, and just anything a doctor would learn. And then we have a year of clinics,
Okay,
and so then we kind of released out on our own,
okay,
or we do residency,
okay,
however people choose to do it.
okay.
But we're different because we're trained to root cause what's going on.
Okay, so it's safe to say that the natural, the I'm gonna call them, I don't wanna call them that, a pharmaceutical doctors.
Mhm.
I hate to call them that,
Uh-huh.
but I mean, let me say this for me, understand enough about health.
Okay.
What they do is the hospitals are run by pharmaceutical companies because they lobby and they pay a bunch of money, so everything is to push the drugs. No drug that they give you ever tells you it's going to cure you. It's always to treat, and
Yes.
oftentimes the side effects are worse than the actual
Yes.
problem that you have.
Yes.
So y'all are on the flip side of that. Y'all want to get to what the root cause of something is. Is that a fair way to explain it?
Yes, it is. It is. And I think doctors are trained that way too, but once you go out and then, because insurance is behind this, insurance got like first level of care. So when you diagnosed with something, you go to first line of therapies.
Okay.
So the insurance already got this thing set up in order for the insurance to pay. Now if the doctor was to kind of go off on their own, then you're gonna get a bill.
Okay,
So-
okay,
so-
okay.
So, but they
Okay.
still use conventional medicines.
Okay, conventional medicines, got you.
Mhm.
All right, so let me ask you this right here, and let's see if we can hammer this down. So when it comes to natural, and that's what you do, you deal with the things that are natural.
Yes.
Let me see, I got a couple of questions.
Okay.
We got, I'm just gonna ask a couple of brief questions.
Okay.
What kind of medicine do you do for people?
So what I do, I like to do, well, I'm trained to do only natural therapies.
Okay,
But I know we still have pharmacology classes because we still have to know the mechanics behind the medications people are on. So
Mhm.
when they come to us, we know what we're doing.
okay,
So I do lifestyle modifications with this. We talk about food, we talk about hydration, movement, sleep. We even talk about, if you have your social support. And then we go off into vitamins, herbal supplements, water therapies, homeopathy.
Wait a minute, water therapy?
Yes. So yeah, water therapies, yeah. Like a lot of people don't understand like contrast baths, like you take 1 minute of hot, a shower, you take it hot, and then 30 seconds of cold, and then go back to hot. And if you do it like 4 or 5 times, you're shifting the blood in and out, outside of your body. So in to the inside.
No, I've been in a shock. I don't like cold water.
So yeah. So a lot of people do that when they kind of want to like relax.
Okay.
Yeah, you kind of forcing the body into a relaxed state.
Wow,
Mhm.
that is crazy.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Mhm, yeah.
So, what is your specialty?
My specialty is I like women's health, like gynecological issues, like
Okay, so let's say this so they can hear you. You like women's health, and say that word again.
gynecological.
Gynecological.
Yeah.
I ain't
Yeah.
never heard of that.
Yeah, so it's like when well,
I heard of gynecologist, but
yeah,
I know.
the same thing.
Okay.
Yes. So that's my specialty. I like that, but I tend to get a lot of people with different kinds of autoimmune conditions.
Okay, autoimmune conditions. I'm glad you went there. So, what are some of the autoimmune? Now, let me give you. Now, of course, I'm not a doctor, Yeah, but I try to do my thing.
There you go.
I try to do my thing.
All help is needed.
Okay, all help is needed.
Yes.
Okay, so with the gynecological, is that correct? I know that a lot of times women have candida,
Yes.
and correct me if I'm wrong. You the doctor.
Yeah.
If a woman has candida, it's in their intestine and it drops down through their vagina, and that's when they know. They call it a yeast infection,
Yeah.
but it's actually too much yeast, sugar, and I know birth control pills can contribute to it. Antibiotics can contribute to it, and throw the pH and all that, and the flora and all of that stuff off, because it's all connected.
Right.
So, and I don't think that a lot of women even understand that.
So candida is it's yeast. It's part of our like body flora.
Right.
On our skin and intestines and things. So it's just there. It's not a lot, and it's not going to cause no issues. But once you start feeding it sugar, and like you said, the birth control that kind of throws it off,
prescriptions with
antibiotics. Yeah. So
now let's it gets out of control. See, that's what was going on with me. It got out of control, and a lot of people don't know this. And I want to get your take on it since we're right here. When we go to the doctor and we're sick and we get antibiotics, and I've had doctors don't even argue with me, because I remind doctors, y'all practice medicine. Y'all don't know it all. Y'all are practicing this thing, and they never argue with me on it. And so this is the reason why a lot of people get sick. When you take antibiotics, now you know I know enough Greek from teaching the Bible.
Yeah, yeah you do.
Antibiotics. Anti means against. Biotics comes with bios, which is mean life. So when a person is sick and they keep going to the hospital and they keep giving them antibiotics for a sickness, yes, it's killing the bad, but it's also killing the good. And then the next thing you know, you back again sick because it just wiped everything out. And overseas, they give people probiotics to help build back the immune system, which is in the gut.
Right.
Am I right?
You're right.
Okay, all right. Let me get a high five.
You're doing good.
All right, I'm doing good.
Yeah.
All right, I'm doing good. I spend a little time in this thing right here to get your immune system back up, because most of your immune system is in your gut, and most people don't know this. And so gut health is like a second brain, is what they call it. So if something is wrong here, it begins to affect systems. So is there a connection between somebody going to the doctor sick, and especially as people get older, then they end up with all of these other infections and they keep getting antibiotics, then the infection comes back? Would probiotics help give them a line of defense? I just want to ask that.
Yes, it will. It will give them a line of defense. And sometimes some doctors will even tell you to go to your local food store and get a probiotic.
So they've gotten that smart now.
Yeah. And also too, when you eat kimchi, sauerkraut, and kombucha, all those fermented foods, those are probiotics. Like you can go to the grocery store and get it.
That's nasty. That's nasty. I don't like kimchi. My brother eats it. I don't. Yeah, I'm like, I can't do that. And you said sauerkraut.
Any kombucha, any of those fermented foods.
Okay.
There's a lot of them at the store that like kimchi and sauerkraut been around forever.
And people just don't pay attention.
Right, because you don't hear about it, but it's fermented and it's probiotics.
Wow.
So if you do a little of this, a little of that, and you can kind of, so that way if you don't really want to swallow the pill, you just rather do food, then you can. That could be your choice.
Okay, got you. I got you. Well, I am.
You're doing good.
I'm doing. I've spent. Yeah, that health book really helped me because I've been able to. I go to the doctor and let them diagnose something, and I'll be like, okay, once you tell me what it is, I'll take the medicine for a while, but I'm going to figure out what it is and get to the root of it. So let me ask a couple of questions. Do you take insurance?
No, I don't take insurance.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't take insurance because, like, the states regulate, like, if we can even practice in that state, or if insurance is going to, accept our services or whatever. So each state is so different.
Okay. Okay. So where can you be found at?
So I'm on all social medias, but I'm really active on Facebook and Instagram
Okay.
under Indie Health Calls.
Indie Health Calls.
Yes.
So we want to put that out. Anybody wanting to get a hold to her, Indie Health Calls.
Yes.
Is there anything that they got to put in there? Just
That's it.
Indie Health Calls.
Yeah, and that'll put you up on Facebook. But if you want my website, it's indiehealthcalls.com, and that'll bring you to my website.
Okay.
And then you can send a message to me through my website.
Okay. So let me ask a couple of questions.
Okay.
What are the, and I got this, what are the biggest issues that most people face as they start to get older? What diseases stand out the most that you know of?
Well, we always know hypertension, diabetes, and kidney failure.
Hypertension,
Yeah, diabetes.
diabetes,
Then like kidney failure, something.
kidney failure,
And then like a lot of heart problems.
and a lot of heart problems. Okay. So as we start to get older,
Mhm.
we need to pay attention to our blood pressure.
Yes.
Okay. We need to pay attention to our sugar
Yes.
and kidneys
Yes.
and heart.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk right there because a lot of people are in church, and I'm a firm believer. The Bible says that, above all things, I would that you will prosper, be in good health,
Yes.
even as your soul prospers.
Yes.
And we know that in the beginning, God gave man, Genesis chapter 1, herbs. He gave him herbs, he gave him seed, he gave him fruit.
Yes.
All of this stuff that God prescribed from the beginning.
Yes.
So y'all are still in touch with God on that. So let me ask this right here. If a person is dealing with hypertension, and I know a lot of people that deal with that, and I used to think that you would have to be overweight to get hypertension, and I found out that that's not true either.
Right.
Is there anything that, and if anybody is out there listening, and most people, that's why every time you go to the doctor, they're going to check your blood pressure.
Right.
That's number one.
Yes.
And then start telling you lifestyle changes that you need to make.
Yeah.
So what would you tell a person who's dealing with high blood pressure? And of course, we're going to have to get you back more than once. We're going to have to get you back.
Okay. For high blood pressure, it depends on what's going on. So you
Okay.
want to fix the obvious. If you're smoking cigarettes, you're drinking, you want to fix your diet. Are you drinking enough water? Are you?
Water plays a part of
Yeah.
high blood pressure.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Because if you dehydrated, it's like your blood's thick. So
Mm.
now the heart got to pump harder.
I didn't realize that.
So if you drink water, it kind of keep the blood hydrated and it just
Flows.
easier. Yeah, you want it to flow.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so water. I tell people water, and then you want to make sure you're eating your fiber, your foods, your like multivitamins. You just want to eat a healthy diet.
Okay.
And then like if you like doing all that and you still got high blood pressure, then we can go on to some other things like magnesium.
Magnesium.
Relax the walls of your vessels.
Magnesium is good
Yeah.
for a high blood pressure.
Yeah, and plus it's a calcium channel blocker. Like there's research on
Wait a minute. Magnesium.
is a calcium channel blocker, which some blood pressures are calcium channel blockers.
Okay, so explain that. How does that work? So
Yeah.
I did a test and I was low in magnesium.
Yes.
So is it important? And the doctor's been telling me for a while about magnesium.
Yes.
How important is magnesium?
It's very important. Like magnesium is in so many body reactions. It's like tons of body reactions. Like it's even in where cellular respiration, like we breathing, you need magnesium. Us moving, your heart pumping, magnesium is needed for all of that.
Really?
Yes.
It's that important.
It's very important.
But nobody's telling us this.
Right? Yeah. Because that, like no one wants to say like the depths of it, but like I guess we as naturopaths we know because we're trained to know that.
Okay, gotcha.
And then I guess medical doctors, I don't know how much training they get on supplements.
Right. Okay. So you will start dealing with magnesium for
Yeah.
high blood pressure,
Yeah.
of stuff like that. I would guess exercise.
Yeah.
I would assume.
Yes. If the doctors tell them they can exercise, yeah, exercise.
Okay.
And then you can. It's a lot of things like. But I'm doing this. I want to do a talk on blood pressure, so I can't tell you everything.
Okay, you can't tell. So she can't tell me everything, y'all. She can't tell us everything on the blood pressure. But
Yeah.
she gave us a couple of nuggets. So let me ask you another one.
Mhm.
Diabetes. That's
Mhm.
a big one, and I know it's type 1 and type 2.
Yes.
And I think type 2 can be fixed. I don't know about type 1. I don't know about that.
Yeah, type 2 can be fixed if you just have to watch what you eat. You know, you have to really watch the sugar you intake, your bread, your pastas. You have to really bring it down, your carbs, to a smaller portion size.
Woo! And when you go to most restaurants, the first thing they do is bring out the bread.
Yeah, they do.
So that's gonna be hard, you know,
Yeah.
like bring out the bread,
Yeah.
and so all of that contributes to being a diabetic.
Yeah, you want to eat your fiber. Fiber slows because what it's doing, the stomach is digesting the food and throwing like a bunch of sugar out, and these people's blood sugar spikes, you know. But fiber, when you green vegetables, will kind of slow the emptying down, and so the blood pressure won't rise as fast.
Mm.
And then see, the sugar is in the blood, and so when they go take your blood, the sugar coats around the red blood cells. So when they draw your blood,
So that's how they know.
Yeah, that's how they know. So
Are you serious? So when they go and draw your blood,
Right.
you're saying sugar coats itself
Coats
around the blood cells?
Yes, and so that's how they, like the red blood cells, that's how they know. So when people think, oh, I'm gonna eat bad and then I'll eat good, like the last month before I go, no,
It don't work like that.
no, it don't work like that.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
No, I never knew that.
Yeah, and when I learned it, I was like, oh, that makes sense. This is why they want you to come back every 3 months, because red blood cells live 3 to 4 months. So they constantly, changing up.
Right.
So, but if you are constantly keeping a lot of sugar in the bloodstream and your blood sugar is always constantly high and you're not really dealing with it, it's going to show on that hemoglobin A1C test. Yeah.
Which means you're doing too much carbs, too much sugar,
Yes.
too much, and it's sticking to those blood cells.
Right.
And then when you go, they're like,
Yeah.
so what is a borderline diabetic?
Borderline is like, I think it's around about maybe almost a 5. No, it's a 6.
A 6.
Yeah, 6 is where you borderline pre-diabetic.
Okay.
Mhm.
Got you.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah.
This is.
What I would say, people don't understand. Like, I was telling something, like the muscles love sugar. So
All
if
right,
you
speak
eat
just a little bit
water-
loud. I want to make sure that everybody can hear. Can y'all make sure y'all hear us? Because I know she's got a soft voice, but I want to make sure they can hear us. You said muscles.
Love sugar. So if your sugar is high, exercise, and that'll cause the muscles to want to absorb some of that sugar.
What? Wait
Yeah.
a minute. Wait a minute. Hit rewind for me
Yes.
one more time. So say that for everybody.
Yeah.
And so
Yes.
I'm trying to break it down. You're a doctor, so I'm trying to break it down in layman terms.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. So Dr. Brown,
Yes.
muscles love sugar.
Right.
So I've always been a muscular type of person
Yeah.
without ever lifting weights or anything.
Yeah.
Is that why I crave sugar?
No, you just.
I just love sugar.
Yeah, you just love sugar. Yeah.
Not as bad as I used to.
Okay.
Okay, so let's say
Yeah.
that I'm eating, muscles have a craving for sugar,
Mhm,
right?
Yes.
So how do you get
Yes.
rid of that craving for sugar?
Well, you can fast, and then this is
Fast? I thought fasting was something only the church was told to
I
do in the
know,
Bible.
right. I know, right? But you know what? People can fast, and then after you come out because your liver holds like 18 hours of sugar. So you know you gotta fast past that.
Wait a minute.
So the liver will dump the sugar.
Hold on, because
Yeah.
you're dropping too much.
Yeah.
You dropping too much now.
Yes.
The liver holds
18 hours of sugar.
The liver holds 18 hours of sugar.
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes. And that's for a normal person. If you kind of a little more weight, it holds more. So you have to fast, at least fast the 18 hours, so the liver can dump all of that sugar, and then wait a few days, and then because after like 3 to 4 days, your stomach stops growling, so you okay. It stops growling, and then once you start back to eating, it's where you don't have the sugar cravings. But
Really?
because you used to it, you might go back and eat some.
Right.
But really, the sugar craving is not there anymore.
So wow. So fasting is good.
Yeah, fasting is good.
So if somebody said I needed to do something with diabetes and it's the sugar, it's this and that, and it's up high, you would tell them the average person to fast for at least 18 hours,
Yeah.
and if they heavier, even more,
Yeah.
to dump the sugar out
Yeah.
of the liver, to give you a chance
Mhm.
to kind of, I
Mhm.
guess, regulate again.
Yes. I would tell somebody who's like maybe newly diagnosed pre-diabetic when they're not on medication. I would tell them that. But
Okay.
if they're on medication, I would tell them like, okay, now lift weights, walk, exercise. Get that movement, get the muscles to moving, and then watch the carbs and stuff. And then you will see those numbers start coming down,
Really?
fiber, yeah.
Just from exercising
Mm-hmm.
and fasting.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, sometimes it's just like little small stuff, we just gotta do.
Why nobody's telling us this? Why when we go to
Yeah.
the doctors,
Yeah.
nobody is telling us this?
Yeah, yeah. They tell you, oh, you can't fast. They tell you, oh, you can't. They're against fasting.
They're against
They're
fasting.
against fasting.
But fasting is necessary because all through the Bible,
Mhm.
they fast.
Yes, they fast.
So fasting is not just spiritual, it also has a natural
Mm-hmm.
implication as well.
Yes, it does. It does.
Ooh, Dr. Brown, you listen, I don't know about y'all, but let us know if you are appreciating this right here because we're
Yeah.
really trying to help people with their health because,
Yes.
again, as people get older, stuff that you used to ignore, you cannot ignore any longer.
Right.
You talked about the kidneys. So as we get older, is it, so let me ask you this, as we get older and these things start showing up, and of course it can be genetic, but a lot of times we're not as active as we used to. What would you do to talk to somebody about their kidney health? What could they do?
So for kidney health, I know a lot of people want to wait until their GFR gets really low and then they want to start looking. But when you start like blood pressure, 'cause that's hard on kidneys, so start addressing that real early. And then water is good. You want to keep flushing them. Don't drink all the sodas, the sugars. Just really take good care of yourself.
Okay, so here's something, and this is just grown up talk, and I think a lot of men don't understand this.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always been in the health, in athletic.
Yeah.
But women, it's one thing for them, but
Yeah.
through the years of me having to deal with men,
Yeah.
a lot of men don't understand that the blood pressure
Mm-hmm.
and the diabetes also affect erections.
Yes.
It affects all of your overall sexual health.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
brothers,
Yeah.
I mean, I've had to tell guys is if you eat right, exercise,
Right. Right.
right vitamins and stuff, you can see this is growing up talk, y'all.
Yeah.
But this is,
Yeah.
but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Instead of popping a bunch of pills all the time, there's
Right.
things that you can do to keep yourself there, so
Right.
that you don't have to
Yes.
depend on that.
Yes.
Where I would much rather my body be able to do it naturally.
Yes.
Than for me to depend on something
Yeah.
and then like okay
Yeah.
I can't do anything anymore
Right.
and I don't think most men don't understand that
Yeah.
kidneys,
Yeah.
that blood pressure,
Yes.
that diabetes,
Yes.
all of that affects that whole
Yes.
Yeah. When you're young it's reproductive. As you
Yeah.
get older, you ain't trying to produce kids, but you still want to have fun.
Right.
So I mean,
Right, yeah.
now you're no longer being able to do that. And
Right.
women, I don't think y'all have that issue.
No.
Yeah, y'all.
After menopause, some women get kind of wonky, but some things they can do.
Or since you brought it up, so women to go through menopause,
Yes.
and I heard somebody say it's called men at pause. That's what it is.
Yeah, isn't that funny? Oh my goodness, yeah.
Maybe they gave it the right name.
Yeah.
Men at pause. So if a woman was dealing with menopause, we know there's nothing we can do about that because of course that's when they stop having a cycle.
Yeah.
And that's when the women talk about hot flashes,
Yes.
and I heard they get, the attitudes
Yes.
can come in and a lot of
Yeah.
stuff. Is there anything that can do to help women with menopause?
Well, like me and my friend was talking, a lot of it is stress.
Stress.
Stress. Yeah.
Wow.
Stress and not getting proper sleep. So they're gonna have to address that.
Mm.
And then if they're hot flashing, you want to drink a lot of water because they're sweating a lot. But I found, when I was hot flashing, I found like ginseng.
Ginseng.
My thing. Something simple, like I like ginseng. You can find it almost anywhere.
For hot flashes.
For the stress, it brings the stress down, and also too, because you bringing that stress down, the hot flashes don't occur.
Really?
Yeah, because I think I noticed when I got stressed out, I was hot flashes like that, just back to back to back.
Wow.
Yeah, and this with food, I was eating peanuts. One day I was eating some peanuts, and I was like,
Just
peanuts. I was like, oh my, like certain foods, you just gotta be really. But when you eat something, if you hot flashing, as soon as you eat something, it might be that, So just,
really. So
Yes.
food you eat can trigger the hot flashes.
Yes.
You brought oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, you brought up something because all of these things, and you brought up another one, stress.
Yes.
So let's talk about stress here for a minute, because I don't think nobody's immune to stress.
Right.
I guess you can't always tell what causes stress, but can you tell, how can you know that a person is stressed? Because when I was young, I was in my 20s and went to the doctor.
Yeah.
And they was like, oh, you've lost some weight. Are you stressed? I was like, no, I ain't stressed. I actually was going through something, but me being a man, I didn't see it as stress. I'm thinking I can handle this.
Right.
But the doctors were saying, you lost some weight. I think you might be stressed.
Yeah.
Your blood pressure's elevated a little bit more than what it normally is. So what would you, and as I got older, I started learning stress will kill you.
It will kill you.
I used to hear it when I was young, but as I got older, I know what that means now.
Yep.
You know, of course, people can bring stress, job can bring stress,
Yes.
children, marriage, situations, anything can bring about stress.
Yes.
So what would you tell a person that is stressed? What are some of the effects that stress has on the body? I just want to know, because I know it's kind of crazy.
It's great. All kind of things.
All right, I want you to make sure you talk loud. Let them know what stress does to you.
All kind of things. It will increase your lipids, triglycerols, your cholesterol. It will cause diabetes. It will.
Wait a minute. Stress can trigger diabetes?
Yes, because.
Dr. Brown, are you serious?
Yes, it just because we're sitting there, we're waiting. Like we got a lot of things going on in our bodies, and nothing. If you're healthy, none of these health issues come. But the minute stress comes or something happens, you're not eating right, then when we kick these symptoms and diseases into full effect. So stress, it'll cause heart problems, high blood pressure. Stress, it will take you out.
For real.
Yes.
Like when I was little, my parents would say, yo, stress, I hear people say, stress will kill you.
Yes.
I didn't understand it. I'd be like, what is stress? What are they talking about, stress will kill you? As a kid, I had no stress.
Right, yeah.
Because I had no issues.
Yeah.
But as you start getting older and you start experiencing life,
Yes.
you start having things that will stress you out.
Yeah.
So what would you tell a person that is dealing with stress? What are some of the things that they can do if they're dealing with stress?
Yeah, you know what? Sleep it's free. Sleep is free. Get in bed at 9 o'clock, be in bed. Go to sleep until your body wakes up.
Whoa.
You know, until it wakes its own self up.
Sleep is that important?
Yes, sleep is that important.
I'm a night owl.
Are you?
Yeah, I will be up all night long if up to myself. You know, my wife has said, you need to go to bed, and I'd be like, go to bed. You know, like I want to stay up and watch TV. I've always been that way. Yeah. So I have to take stuff like melatonin to try to put me to sleep because I notice. Now I don't feel like I need 8 hours of sleep.
Okay,
I kind of skate with 6.
Yeah, some people do.
But then if that ain't enough, I'll just take a nap through the day. You know, my body be like, no, just take a nap. And if I eat something, I'm definitely going to sleep.
Yeah.
So sleep is good for stress. What else is good for stress?
Let's see. A lot of different herbs. Ginseng is one. I like ginseng.
Ginseng for stress.
Yes, that's good. And you can find that almost anywhere.
Okay.
What else is good for stress? Just, anything, meditation.
Meditation?
Yeah, some people do meditation.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
So that would include prayer.
Yeah, that includes prayer. You just getting up in the morning and just empty your mind, pray, empty your mind, and just 5 or 10 minutes in the morning.
Of just meditation, prayer, emptying your mind of whatever it is you're thinking about. So it's safe to say most people that are stressed is because they overthinking. Yeah,
overthinking, overbooked, too much going on.
And body can't handle it.
Right.
Wow. So Dr. Brown, we gotta bring you back again. Listen, what do you have in your bag for us? You brought a bag here. Look, what's in your goodie bag?
I got everything. So we have a white coat ceremony.
Okay.
And so white coat ceremony, they give you a doctor bag.
Okay.
And they give you everything you're gonna need. Like, of course, they give you the blood pressure stuff.
Are you gonna take my blood pressure while I'm here, Dr. Brown? Yeah, I want to see while you're talking. Can I get my blood pressure?
Oh, you take it now or afterwards?
I don't care. You can pump it on me now if you want to. I want to check my blood pressure.
Okay, I'm gonna check your blood pressure.
Okay.
We got the.
So it pays to have a doctor at the church because then we can. Well, now what is that thing?
Reflex. You know how you hit your knees?
Right.
Check reflexes.
So what is the purpose of the reflex? Because I did a physical and they did all of that for me to drive.
Yes, yeah, just to see if, you know, if your reflex, if you're like, sometimes if they're low, it's maybe, because we older, they're gonna be low, because we older. But sometimes when younger people.
I don't know, don't tell me that, because somebody tried me, my reflexes still, I'm still responsive. I'm still very responsive.
You know, maybe something neurological going on, or maybe some nerve damage might be. Like sometimes nerve damage will kill that reflex, and they're trying to just like determine.
Wow.
If you know, if it is nerve damage, it's one of the ways they can, you know.
Okay, it's through that. What else do you have in here?
Oh, I guess so for the eyes, we do eyes, look in the ears. So we got all of that.
So you do the whole exam?
Yes.
Okay.
Heart, lungs.
Okay.
Listen to your stomach.
So what is the purpose of listening to your stomach?
So we want to make sure, are we hearing any digestive sounds? If you hear too many, that's a problem. So so many you're supposed to hear in like 30 seconds. You know, if it's really loud or like real hard, you know, if you're not hungry, if you just ate and you got these real hard digestive sounds, or nothing moving, then we got a problem.
Wait a minute. So you're saying your stomach is supposed to make noise?
Yeah, it's gonna make some noise. Yeah. You know, sometimes you can hear it, but a lot of times you can't.
Right. I hear it sometimes. Be like, my stomach acting up. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to hear it.
Yeah. It's just moving. You know, pushing the food through.
Wow.
And then we can feel around, or you know, making sure each organ. We want to make sure that liver is in the right place, because some people's livers are enlarged. Or
so how would a person know if they had an enlarged liver, or is that the same thing as a fatty liver?
Yeah.
So can you explain it? Because I've always heard people talk about a fatty liver.
Mm-hmm.
What is a fatty liver?
It has literally fat in the liver, and it's probably because like it's too much sugar, too much eating the wrong foods.
Really?
Yeah. Even drinking alcohol can cause a fatty liver.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Where fat just collects?
In the liver, in different parts of the liver, yeah. And sometimes it gets so bad until like it's kind of hard to reverse that.
Whoa!
It'll get fibrotic, it'll get hard. Look, it's hard.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you got one liver, so you know you need that to live. Yeah, you can transplant it. You can get a transplant, liver transplant, but you know.
It's that serious.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask this. What else do you have in the bag? And I'm gonna ask if anybody has a question.
Okay, all right.
I'll ask if anybody has a question for us before.
Yes. Yeah.
Do anybody have any questions that you want to ask the doctor before we get ready to close out?
Yeah.
Any questions? Let me see what we got.
Okay.
Anybody got any questions? I'm gonna take a couple of questions before I let Dr. Brown go. Anybody got any questions? I'm looking now.
Okay.
I'm looking. Somebody did say I need to know that. That's good information, and it actually is. These are things that definitely need to be known because we love the Lord, but we also need to be careful of health.
Yes.
You know, and make sure that we're feeling good. When you're feeling good, you don't mind praising,
Right.
don't mind worshiping, you don't mind doing anything for God. But when you don't feel good, you just don't feel good.
Right.
And again,
Yeah.
when we go to doctors, they tell us about symptoms, but they don't tell us how to fix them. So let me ask you a couple of them.
Okay.
The weight scale, is it actually, you know, of course, if I go get on the scale right now, I'm overweight. You know, most people say, well, you okay.
Yes.
So is that weight scale that they still use, is it accurate for every body type or ethnicity? Or was that just designed for one ethnicity? Because some people, maybe they're the African American, tend to be bigger bone, heavier, and like for me, right around my height, I think they will say I should weigh like 170 something. I'm like, I'm not gonna be that little, like 170, 180. That's a kid's weight. How does that? And most of our people, we suffer from these things.
Yeah.
How important is it, or does that weight scale matter to us?
Yeah, it matters. It does matter, because even if you like too big, you gotta realize your heart has to push blood through your body.
Okay.
Even if you really muscular, that's still a lot of work on your heart.
So is this why people can be big and pumped up from working out and lifting weights and they suddenly die from a heart attack?
Yeah.
Even though they're muscular, you
Right.
saying it's too much?
Yeah, it's just too much for the body.
Are you serious?
Yes.
So listen,
Yes.
if you know somebody, if you know somebody, let them know. That's even if you lift weights.
Yes.
All right. So Apostle Glenn Bates wants to know, what is the life expectancy of a liver transplant?
It just depends on. I think it depends on how you treat it.
Okay, like if they have a transplant, if they get the whole liver transplant.
Yeah, it just depends on how you gonna treat the liver.
Okay.
Yeah, but my clinician, her mother had a liver transplant, and it was fine. And then I think she was doing something she wasn't supposed to be doing, and she needed another one.
Ooh.
And sometimes they don't want to transplant you the second time because you messed up the first time.
And to them, that's a precious organ.
Right.
Okay, so
Right.
it says so. Apostle, here's if you caught that, she's saying it really depends on how you treat the liver that you got
Yeah, they give you. Yeah.
that they give you.
Yes.
Because she's saying she's seen them give it to somebody and they ruined that one, and now they're slow about trying to get you one after that because they feel like you're not
compliant.
You're not complying with the new liver.
You right, and she's on the list again, but I don't know.
She's on the list again.
She's on the list again.
Wow. So how many years did it take for her to need a new liver?
I think she was about 10 years in.
10 years in.
Yeah, but I think she wasn't eating right. It was something her daughter, like my clinician was complaining about her eating and stuff like that.
So they seen that this was already going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Okay. So Apostle Bates, we would definitely say that she said it was a good 10 year, but she shouldn't have had to need another one that fast.
Right.
But she wasn't doing right.
Right.
Okay, Sister Shannon Hawthorne, what is the website address again?
ND Health Calls.
ND Health Calls.
Yeah, .com.
.com.
Yeah.
ND Health Calls. NDHealthCalls.com.
Yes.
Okay, so we got you want to take a couple other questions. Anybody got any questions for Dr. Brown? Dr. Brown, we got to get you to come back in there because I really want to see you hold and facilitate something here at the church.
Yes, I plan on
and really do this, really check on people and all that kind of stuff. Okay, you got it, sir. Thank you, sir. Does anybody else have any other questions before we release Dr. Brown? And again, Dr. Brown, I am so proud of you.
Thank you.
I am proud. I am just glad that here at the church we focused on not just doing church, but seeing people. If you got a business, we want to help push you.
Yes.
And I've seen people, like you being a doctor. That's just a major accomplishment, So again, we just really grateful for that. So Dr. Brown, I'm getting ready to let you go. But if you can look in the camera and give them your information one more time before we get ready to close out. Okay, I'm gonna leave you right here.
All right, my website is ND as in naturopathic doctor healthcalls.com, and you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram, ND Health Calls, and then I'm on Substack also. And on Substack, I'm under the naturopathic desk, where I just want to do just whatever I research and learn about. I just want to be able to share it. So you'll find a few articles. I'm hoping I pick up speed on that and everybody enjoy it.